What should you know about sorting algorithms? You should know, really, you should know merge sort, quick sort, and the running times. Those are the main, insertion sort. Merge sort, quick sort, and insertion sort. Quick sort, there's a randomized version that runs an expected n log n time, but the worst case is still n squared. Merge sort is n log n for every case. Insertion sort is linear big O of n in the best case. I haven't written the exam yet, I've been writing tonight. And worst case, order n squared. You should know how they work, because even if we don't have questions on them or something, they're very important, and we spend a lot of time on it. It's not hard. But I wouldn't obsess on them. You should know the order statistics algorithms, not in detail. Random select is like randomized quicksort, except it throws out half of the problem every time. Right? So it's exactly like it. But the input to these things are, the input is different. You don't have a sorted list, and you're given an integer I. And you want the element of rank I, the ith smallest, without sorting the input array. And if you can't do it, you might as well just sort and index into the array and in log n time. So you've got to do it in order n time in order to make it worthwhile. And the algorithm that's famous for this is deterministic select that takes an array and this index, this integer I, and by divide and conquer can find in linear time the element of rank I. So you should know that algorithm, not in detail. So I mean, know it well. Know it so you could describe it to a friend. Know it so you could do it on a small example, but don't obsess on it. Something to study is divide and conquer. There'll definitely be a problem. So on homework 1, we had number 2, local min. We had the inversion problem, number 3. I would not study number 4. That's too hard. On homework 2, this is more about randomizing algorithms. I decided not to go into randomizing because people are having too much trouble with probability, unfortunately. Maybe some other time. You should understand the partition procedure, which is linear time and order n procedure. That has many, many uses. The one in the book is fine. There's that nice one by the author of the algorithm where you have the pointers converging from either extreme. I wouldn't bother. I mean, what I would study that. So that's what I'd have to say about select 2, coming into that. So the select problems are number 3 and 4 on problems on homework 2. Homework 3, now we're into DP. I know everything about DP. We're going to have a lot of DP. So DP, all the algorithms we gave in class, and all the algorithms on the homework. This shouldn't be too hard because we've emphasized them so much. Coin changing, at a distance, the restaurant problem. So 1, 2, and 3 of homework 3. I wouldn't worry about number 4. So again, always put a hard one in. On homework 4, more DP. 1, 2, and 3. Study them, not the tennis player. Okay, that's it for deep. And palindrome, that's a good one to know. But all the ones we presented in class too, the ones I talked about. Just because you shouldn't forget, you shouldn't be that forgetful. If you don't know them, now you'll never know them. Because as time goes on, you'll forget. Graphs. Most of the stuff is going to be DP and graphs. Almost everything. This transpose, we've seen it come up. This is homework 5, number 1. Homework 5, number 2 is bipartite. By the way, too colorable. On our table, two coloring, which is bipartite, is over here. Polynomial time. 3 color is over in the heart. So if you want to, 2 color versus 3 color. But the bipartite I would know. So transpose bipartite, multiple shortest paths. So 1, 2, and 3. Homework 6, DFS. One, and we have this topological sort, which I told some of you we've emphasized because we had to try to teach it right. It works on GAG. It doesn't work on undirected graphs, doesn't work on graphs with cycle. Don't use it to try to find a minimum spanning tree, please. So, no topological sort. So 1, and no, what did we use DFS for? Connected components. This is directed. On undirected, connected components, and find a cycle. Does a cycle exist? DFS. So number 1 and number 2, I wouldn't bother with 3 and 4, they're hard. On homework 7, more topological sort. That's number 1 and number 2. Then number 3 and 4 and 5 on homework 7 are Dijkstra. Study those. There's going to be emphasis on them, on Dijkstra. The 2 things you can do for any of these graph problems are modify the algorithm or modify the input. And 4 and 5 have you modifying the input. So I would look at those. Those are hard. That's harder to do than modify the algorithm. Homework 8, Bellman 4. No Bellman 4. Number 1 is about the mechanics of Bellman 4. Number 2 is one of those modify the input things. Arbitrage, I'm not gonna ask anything that requires, adjacency matrix. I don't believe. Because we haven't worked with it enough. This exam is gonna be a test of things that we've emphasized that you should know. Number 4 and 5 are MST. Will be MST. So 4 and 5 are MST on this. And now we're on the last homework. See, this is pretty good. Homework 9. You just turned it in. The first 3. The last one's on all pairs shortest paths. I would say the homework 9 numbers 1, 2, and 3. All right. I'd look over the do exercises, but I've sort of narrowed it down for you to study. You've got homework. If you've done the homework, if you haven't, and Golkop will do the solutions. He'll do the solutions to this quiz, which will be relevant, and he'll do the solutions to homework 9 assigned problems on Saturday. And if you have questions about any other homework problems, bring them up. And also next week we will have office hours. I'll have it Tuesday, David Wednesday, Golkop Wednesday, and you can bring up your stuff. But don't ask us about these arcane things. Yes?
What about